matter for the day. Hopefully y'all got about an hour to chop it up with the kid, man. We got some very important things to build on and discuss today, man. So I hope y'all got time, man. We about to really dig into the crates in regards to this particular subject matter, man. This is a very crucial discussion, very crucial bill we gonna have on this day of knowledge. Knowledge all being born to wisdom. So I'm gonna give everybody about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid before we start building. Before we start building on this subject matter, man. But what's the word, man? How y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Tuesday? What's the word? How we living and feeling? Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. Y'all see the subject matter. Magic, peace, what's happening? Shaquille, peace, what's happening? What's the word? How we living and feeling? We talking about matriarchy, man, and is that something that was forced on the black community? It's really not even a question. It's a rhetorical question because we already know the answer to this question. But we gonna show and prove. We gonna give some evidence to sort of prove this particular claim. Kuma, peace, what's happening? What's the word? CJ, peace, what's happening? Cedric, peace, what's happening? Javon, peace, what's the word? Shaquille, there we go. Relaxing, chillaxing. J Dub, peace, what's happening? What's the word? We gonna build, man. I'm all about unification. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at the end of the day, if the black man loses, the black woman loses. And vice versa. If the black woman is losing, the black man is losing. I'm all about that unification, that unity. I feel like that's how things work. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, whether people want to see it that way or not, that's sort of how it is. If we losing as black men, they losing as black women. And if they are losing as black women, we losing as black men. Like flat out. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, that's just the way that the game goes. Every other culture, every other ethnic group understands this reality, except for us. So we gotta make the understanding understood in regards to this particular subject matter and things along those lines. Big Smooth, peace, what's happening? Killing them softly, peace, what's the word? At the end of the day, like one of the conversations that will show and prove this reality. I was having this conversation the other day, but one of these conversations that show and prove that reality to let us know how dumb some of this back and forth nonsense is. We like to argue about who makes more. You know what I'm saying? Who makes more money between black men and black women? Cool. But at the end of the day, guess what? When we settle on a conclusion there, guess what? Black men and black women still make less than the white people collectively. Black men and black women still make less than white men and white women. So at the end of the day, what we arguing about? We still getting paid less than our white counterparts for doing the same jobs. For doing the same jobs that they doing. But yet we want to argue with each other about who is making more. But at the end of the day, guess what? Our white counterparts are still making more. Listen, we going to school, we valuing all of these degrees. And this is something that black women tend to do. They tend to tell you how many degrees they got. They got 25 degrees and you still getting paid less than your white counterpart who probably didn't even graduate college. Her dad owns the company, so it was passed down to her. So you going to school getting 35 degrees and you bragging about it, feeling like you educated, but you still getting paid less than your white counterparts, but you want to argue with us about who's getting paid more. You still getting paid less than your white counterpart. And she don't got anywhere near close to the amount of degrees that you have. But yeah, we arguing back and forth with each other. That's how silly a lot of this sounds. What we really arguing about? Again, it's always the unseen hand. We focusing on the wrong things. We going to war with each other when, again, there's a bigger war that should be fought. But we tend to ignore that, though. I don't care about arguing with another sister about who is making more. Collectively, we still making less than them, and we built this country. There would be no country. There would be no America without us. So I don't care about arguing with you about who makes more. Collectively, when you bring both of our incomes together, guess what? We still making less than them. We still making less than them. We still making less than white women. We still making less than white men collectively. So at the end of the day, when you add it all up, we still making less than them. So I don't even care at this point who is making more. Like straight up, Jay, peace, what's happening? So you can have all of these degrees, like they say, at the end of the day, you still a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So you can have all of these degrees, you can have all of these certifications. Guess what? You still not about to reach that same level as them. They not going to allow that. Prodigal son, what's happening? They not going to allow it. So that conversation is always funny. Who makes the most between black men and black women? I don't care. Our white counterparts still making more than us for doing the same exact jobs. Same exact jobs, same exact positions and titles, and they still beating us. They still making more than us. That's the discrimination that I'm focusing on. That's what I would rather talk about. That's what I would rather be on. When we pull our money together, guess what? They still got us beat. And they shouldn't have us beat at this particular point, but we understand why it is the way that it is. So again, you throwing those degrees in somebody's face, like I said, as a black woman, you talking about you got 10 degrees, but that white woman ain't got no degree, and she got the same position. She probably got a lesser position than you, and she making more. So why are you mad at me? Why you want to argue and go back and forth with me? Why you not making more than her? Why you not making more than that white woman that got 0 degrees to your 10, and she making more than you, and she in a lesser position? Or she got promoted over you and she not even halfway near qualified for the same position. Like, nah, that's your fight. That's who you should be talking to. That's who you should be fighting against. Not us. Not me. At all. Prodigal son, appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that donation, my brother. You know, so again, that conversation to me is pointless. But on to the subject matter for the day. We talking about matriarchy. And do I feel like it was something, again, I ain't even do I feel like. The question is rhetorical. Matriarchy being forced on the black community. It's an actual fact. I was watching the Pivot podcast, yo. Great podcast. I was watching the Pivot podcast. Hey, one of my childhood, one of the reasons why I attempted baseball, Ken Griffey Jr., he had an episode on that joint. They interviewed Ken Griffey. One of the reasons why I attempted baseball. You know, if you my age, a little bit older, Ken Griffey, you looked up to Ken Griffey. You rocked his shoes, all of that. But they had Ken Griffey on there, you know, and he was talking about a situation with his pops when his pops first was in the league. It might have been the minor leagues. I don't know if it was the major leagues. And when he was a youngin'. And he was talking about, I think he said South Dakota. I can't remember exactly where he was at. But he was talking about how they were in South Dakota. Him and his pops were in South Dakota trying to rent out an apartment. And they would not rent the apartment out to his pops. His moms had to come from wherever she was at to South Dakota, wherever they were striving to rent this apartment at. The moms had to come to this apartment complex, and they rented out the apartment to the moms. He said they would not rent this apartment out to his pops, a black man, but they rented out the apartment to his moms, the black woman. And there was no reason for his pops not to be able to rent that apartment. You talking about just got drafted, you know what I'm saying? Just got drafted in regards to baseball, about to make it to the major leagues, and they would not rent this man an apartment. But his wife drives down to South Dakota to the apartment, and they rent it out to her. Hands down, no problems. These type of actions, these type of examples is the reason why we could say with confidence that matriarchy, that structure was forced on the black community. What is a black man supposed to do when he putting in work, he mastering his craft, and he goes and tries to rent an apartment, and they tell him no, and don't really even give him a legitimate reason. Then the black woman comes down and they let her rent the apartment out. Come on. What type of environment is this create? What type of role are you forcing a woman in? When you say, nah, we're not going to give it to this black man, but we're going to give it to this black woman. When you telling a man he's supposed to be the breadwinner, taking care of the family, like food, clothing, shelter, that's his responsibility. But you won't even let him provide that. You denying him the opportunity to provide that. What type of environment are you striving to create? Come on now, let's do the knowledge. These are policies. You know, this is that redlining. All of these type of things, some of it covert, some of it overt. But these are the type of things that contribute to this type of environment that I'm talking about. But again, we arguing amongst one another. Ken Griffey's father tried to do what's right and exact. They told him no. So the wife, his wife, had to come up there and rent the apartment. What was he? Come on now. He's trying to do what a man is supposed to do, but they telling him no. You know what I'm saying? So we up against a system that has always viewed us as a threat. Always. They have always viewed us as a threat. 100%. They still view us as a threat to this day. This is what we are up against. So again, I talked about this months ago. One of the main objectives, like every man, contrary to popular belief, every man just wants to take care of his family. Every man just wants to provide for his family. So any obstacle, you know what I'm saying? So if you really want to tear down this black man, if you want to tear down a man in general, take away his ability to provide for his family, provide for himself and his family. If you want to tear down that man, all you got to do is take away that ability or make it 100 times harder. Put 100 different obstacles in front of him that will more than likely prevent him from being able to provide for himself and his family. If you want to tear that man down, and that's exactly what we're dealing with. Not saying that it's impossible. Yes, we have plenty of brothers doing what's right and exact, but the obstacles are crazy. The obstacles are crazy. Some of the obstacles that we have to fight through, like no other ethnic group, no other group of men has to deal with these same exact obstacles that I'm talking about. So when you got a situation like this that's happening, what are our women supposed to do? What role are the women supposed to take? So now they are taking an unnatural role because they have to, because the system is making it that much harder for us to do what men are supposed to do: provide, take care of the family. So now you got a bunch of these women in unnatural roles. So then you got the first generation of women in that unnatural role. Then they pass it down to their daughters, and then now we like 3 or 4 generations in, and now we have this independent mentality. Hey, we don't need men. We've been taking care of ourselves for this long. I got my own money. I got all of these degrees. I got this position. I got this status. That's where that mentality stems from. That is where it stems from. At first, when they were forced to take on that role, it was more, oh, they sad. Like, we sad. Why do we have to do this? Because they killing our men. It was understood for the first generation of black women that had to go through this. It was a sad energy, like depressed energy, like, man, because they had to watch the black man be castrated in front of them. They had to watch the black man be humiliated in front of them, be killed. So they understood what was happening. So when they was forced to take on this position, it was like they understood what was happening. So they were sad, they were depressed, sad, depressed, and they were afraid, so they just was passing down that type of energy. Until you get about 2 or 3 generations in, then it's like, what do we need these men for? Somewhere down the line, that information, it got corrupted. Lindell, peace, what's happening? Emmanuel, peace. Jay, 100%. And they utilizing that weapon. And we, to this day, I don't understand why we don't realize that that's what's happening. That's why when I say things like, I'm not about to argue with a black woman, that's what I mean. See, people hear things like that for the life of me. Black dudes hear me say, no, I'm not about to argue with no black woman, especially on the internet. When I say that, what I'm telling you is I'm not about to fall victim to the propaganda. I'm not about to amuse the enemy. I'm not about to amuse the oppressor and fall right into his agenda. I'm not about to give him that fulfillment. I'm not about to go back and forth on these platforms with another sister because that's what they want. So that's what I mean by that. I'm not doing that. That's exactly how they designed this whole thing to pan out and play out. I'm not about to give them that ammunition. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because, again, they are using them as weapons against us and vice versa. And it's working. I'm not about to contribute to that, fam. I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for it. If I got this knowledge, if I know that these things are happening, why would I fall victim to that? I already know what the deal is. I already know what the science is. They not about to get me. I'm not about to go back and forth with no sister on here. I'm not doing it. Especially when I see, brothers, y'all got to be wise, bro. If you see a sister out here that has that type of mentality where she tearing down brothers, come on. Come on, man. Y'all already know what it is. Why are you wasting time with that? We talk about agents all the time. A lot of these sisters, man, to keep it real, to get on the conspiracy talk, a lot of these sisters being paid to be on that. If y'all want to be real in the field, man, a lot of these sisters getting paid. A lot of these sisters getting sponsored and paid by some folks to push that narrative, to contribute to the divide and conquer type of energy and mentality. A lot of these sisters are agents, man. Don't put it past them. Come on. This has been an age-old tactic, and this ain't even something that just steals from them. If you look at the gang culture, if you want to catch your enemy slipping, let's go send one of our women over there. You know what I'm saying? This has been a tactic, man. Been a tactic to use the woman. It's been a tactic, man. Nothing is new under the sun. So that's been a tactic, man. Been a tactic, man. So let's stop acting brand new, man. When you see that, when I see a sister where she on a platform and she just talking crazy, kill all black male babies and things like that, it's like, come on, man. I'm not finna fall for that bait. I'm not that dumb, man. I wasn't born yesterday. I know what you own. I know who putting you up to this. I know the science behind this structure. So I'm not going to fall victim to that bait, man, because I already know what the science is. Again, we pushing that unification. If you not on that type of vibe, and it's evident in regards to what you striving to do, man, you working for the enemy. What they say, what dude dropped the album back in the day, Sleeping with the Enemy. That's what you own. That's what you own. Prodigal son, 100%. And it's sad. Like, for the life of me, I don't understand why we don't have to, I'm gonna give y'all some groundbreaking news, groundbreaking information. So revelation. You might not have known this. But did y'all know that when it comes to black men and black women, did y'all know? Groundbreaking, I know. Did y'all know y'all don't have to choose a side? Did y'all know that y'all can listen to both sides and extract points from both sides? And say, oh, both sides have valid points and they are making sense. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? I want to know, did y'all know that? It's just like when they have rappers go against each other. Did y'all understand? Y'all know y'all can like both Tupac and Biggie. Y'all don't have to choose a side. See, I was caught up in that stuff as a youngin'. I felt like if I like Pac, I can't like Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't like both of them at the same time, man. I was Team Pac. You know, they always make us choose a side. It was West Coast for me. That was my side, and I was rolling with it. You know, that's how they do us, man. They always try to make us pick a side. Do you know that you do not have to do that? You do not have to do that. You can take the best parts of both sides. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can take the best parts from both sides. You can say, you know what? Both of y'all have points. Both of y'all have areas where I disagree. Both of y'all had areas where I agree. Jay, I'm actually still suffering from that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, I still suffer from that. I was caught up in it so hard back then when it comes to the East Coast, West Coast stuff that I still don't halfway like the dudes that Pac didn't like, man. And it's like, it's subconscious now. I naturally don't listen to some of them cats that he was dissing back then. And it's like, now I don't even be knowing why. But then I tap back in and say, oh, it's because of that. Straight up. So they make us pick a side. They make us pick a side. They make us pick a side, man. This is manufactured. It's designed that way. You know, it's designed that way. And we fall for it every time. We fall for it every time. Every time. And it's crazy, man. I'm not here to choose a side. Everybody has points, fam. Again, when the black man loses, the black woman loses. When a black woman loses, I lose. Straight up. Like, I don't have to separate that. When one of my sisters lose out here, I done lost. That's how it is at the end of the day, man. I'm not seeing it differently. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care how y'all feel about it. I will never see it any different than that. At the end of the day, we are all that we have. At the end of the day, no matter how you choose to break this down, no matter how you choose to look at it, at the end of the day, we are all we have. We are all we have. You know, so they have structured this system in a way to really try to break us down. You know, they understand these so-called gender roles. They understand the roles of the man. So they was like, boom, if we want to destroy the family structure, let's destroy the role of the man. Let's demote the man. We got demoted. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's speak in business terms. Let's speak in job terms, employment terms. The black man got demoted in his own household. The black man has been demoted. And this was by design. Black man had been demoted. The black man has been demoted. Like straight up. Jay, for sure, 100%. And prodigal son, see, exactly. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying just a few minutes ago. Any sister that is on that type of vibe, it's obvious what she's on. That's why I don't waste time going back and forth with somebody like that. It's almost like when you got a Charleston White. Like this dude is an agent, fam. Like he on the Fed's payroll. It's obvious what he doing. It's obvious what he's on. Like somebody like that, I'm not wasting time with somebody like that, man. Causing trouble amongst the righteous, man, to try to get people caught up in some nonsense. No, I'm not falling victim to that. I know what they are on. So I'm not going to waste time on that. You know what I'm saying? Just like a brother like Charleston White, just like you got brothers out here that's on the payroll of the feds. You got brothers out here that's agents. You have sisters that's on the same vibe. I don't rock with any of them. It was a brother that looks like me and you that got Fred Hampton killed. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't rock with any of that. When you speak in that type of language to me, I don't rock with you point blank. You know what I'm saying? I don't rock with you at all. It was a sister that was responsible for some things that happened with Marcus Garvey. You know, we can keep on going. We got sisters and brothers that's been responsible for a lot of our great leaders falling victim. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's on that type of time to where it's obvious of what you are on, I distance myself from them. I'm not arguing with you because I already know what you on. You an agent. You know what I'm saying? You an agent. You an infiltrator. You here to cause trouble amongst the righteous. I'm not fooling with it. And I'm not fooling with you. That's an obvious. Like that goes without saying. Anybody that's on that type of vibe, it goes without saying that we not rocking with them. Like we don't even have to acknowledge that. Nor do we have to acknowledge them. But the problem is we acknowledge them. We give them views. We get mad and we get underneath we get in the chat and we going off on them. No, don't do that. When you see something like that, nah, I'm not clicking on that. I'm not clicking. Man, that's in the age of social media, when you see a black woman talking about abort black male babies, no, I'm not clicking on that. Like I'm scrolling right past it. I'm not even about to allow that to mess with my blood pressure. I'm not even taking it serious. And I say that because, again, that's the best way to neutralize this nonsense. And that's the best way to eradicate that type of energy. Don't entertain it. Don't entertain it. But again, we got brothers that's on that same vibe. We got sisters that's on that same vibe. We all contribute. We got people that's contributing to this downfall in different ways. Because it's a lot of brothers on here that's on YouTube that they whole platform revolves around talking bad about black women, and it's garbage. They are also in on that. They are also being paid. They are also agents. Anybody that's not striving to unify, I don't trust them. Listen, do y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm able to get on this platform and I'm able to have a message of unification without talking bad about sisters that's talking bad about us. I don't have to take that route. The message is not for them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to talk bad about them 24/7. I don't have to get on here every day and talk bad about that group of sisters. Nor do I have to talk bad about that group of brothers. We can get on here. We can talk about unity, unifying, and what it takes to unify without us having to talk bad about sides that we don't agree with or people that we don't agree with that we know are agents, that we know are lost in the sauce, acting other than their true selves. I ain't dealing with what we call deaf, dumb, and blind, what we would call the 85, the 85%. You know, that's what we would call them. So we ain't wasting time. Maurice, peace, what's happening? We not wasting time on that at all. Because again, all of this is by design. We even got to do the knowledge to it. And we about to get a little deep. And this ain't even no justification. What I'm saying is, if you even have somebody that possesses a mentality, you got to ask yourself where this mentality stems from. See, that's another reason why we don't never get to the bottom of situations and issues, and they don't never get resolved. Because we never strive to ask, how did you develop this mentality? So even if we doing the knowledge to a sister in this day and age, and she legitimately possesses the mentality to abort black male babies, where does that come from? That stems from a deeply rooted fear. They got a bunch of studies that corroborate this. If a sister possesses that mentality, this is trauma that was passed down to her from her ancestors that they didn't deal with. When they saw black males being castrated, when they saw the husband get castrated and killed and humiliated in front of them, they had this fear of having a black son, to the point where they'll rather abort the black son than let him live and be treated like that. This is where that mentality comes from. They didn't show and prove this through study. This is where a mentality like that comes from. Now, am I saying that mentality is right? No. Am I saying that mentality is wrong? No. We just talking about where a mentality like that can stem from. That's the only way that we can even semi-gain an understanding and resolve some of these issues. We got to gain an understanding. Just like when you see a brother that is so quick to sell out his own brother, where is that coming from? Why that brother set up Fred Hampton like that? You know, these are conversations that we don't want to have. We just want to say, oh, y'all trash and this, that, and the third. Where is that mentality coming from? Come on now. That's got to make some sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, all I'm seeing for black men is they getting castrated and killed in front of me. Subconsciously, you're going to have a fear of having a son. You would rather not have that son than have that son and turn him over to the oppressor and he gets killed and castrated. You don't want to see that. So you would rather abort the son. Now, of course, that is not what's being described by these sisters, but you just got to ask yourself where that type of mentality is coming from. Got to ask yourself that type of question. Got to ask yourself. Of course, when you modernize that energy and you add stuff like social media to the mix, people just saying a bunch of whatever for clickbait, for views, for likes, and all of that type of nonsense. But you got to ask yourself deep down inside, where does a mentality like that come from? This goes back, even if you go back to biblical days, when you start talking about the pharaohs and you start talking about the story of Jesus, this ties into that. This ties into the Bible. If we want to get deep into that, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you start talking about the pharaohs, when you start talking about Israelites and how they felt towards unborn male babies, they were after power. So they was like, nah, we cannot have, like, listen, if they have some male baby, we got to get rid of them. We got to get rid of the male babies. That's a problem, because if we allow them to be born, then they turn into men, and that's a threat to our power. That's a threat to our power structure. We can't have these young boys growing up to be men, so we cannot allow these women to have boys. We can't have it. Can't allow that. That's how deep this thing gets. Cultures understand that if we want to cut off, listen, if we feel like we have a threat, and that threat is another ethnic group, the way to eliminate that threat is to take away the power of that group, the power being the male. So no, we cannot allow boys to be born, because these boys grow up to be men. The more men that's born, oh, that's a threat to our power structure. Kill the black male babies, kill the black boys. This is why you have, man, we can get deep with it, but this is why you have a lot of things that affect black boys. ADHD, things along those lines. You know what I'm saying? This is why you have situations like that. This is why you have a lot of things that target the black boys. The black boys are affected by a lot of things that we not even hip to, because they trying to dumb us down, pacify us, and things like that. They got to keep us in that state. They got to keep us in that pacified state. If they not killing us, they trying to keep us in that pacified state. You know, so that's really what's happening. So when you understand that's what's happening, you like, man, I don't even want to have a boy in this particular climate, man. It makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. So you might not even know why you harbor this energy. A lot of these sisters don't even understand why they harbor this energy. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand why they feel like, abort black babies or abort the black boys. They don't understand why they saying that. But they saying it and they feel that way. They don't even understand it because it's deeply rooted. Deeply rooted for sure. No labels. What's happening? Prodigal son, exactly. I don't even tap in. Moshe, man, I'm talking about blood pressure high. So why would I sign up for something that's going to increase my blood pressure? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to tap into something that's going to raise my blood pressure, man. Like, if anything, I'm tapping in to strive to gain an understanding. You know, and a lot of times that's not what we doing. That's not what we doing. Nobody is listening to anybody. That's the problem. No side is listening to the other side. You know, that's all. Everybody just want to make a point, but nobody wants to strive to understand. That's what's creating, not even creating. That's what's sustaining this rift at this point. Ain't nobody trying to comprehend the other side. Ain't nobody trying to gain an understanding of the other side. That's not happening, man. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck, as they say. It's not happening. Let's keep it real, black. You not listening to a sister that has a, you know what I'm saying, a different point of view than you to gain an understanding of that. You know what I'm saying? You not doing that. You going in there to argue, to try to convey a point, try to get her to change her mind, knowing that's not going to happen. You not going over to that platform to really try to gain an understanding. So why waste your time? Why waste your time? Like, straight up. Don't waste your time on that then. And that's what's happening. Wasting time, fam. Stop wasting your time, black man. Stop wasting your time, black woman. Again, unification. That's what we own. That's what it's about. JJ, peace, what's happening? Yes, sir. And people always, every time I talk about being race first, everybody misunderstands that. I ain't even gonna say everybody. Everybody within like 80% of the black community misunderstands that. Funny, like I said, when I got a book, I think by Tony Martin. It's called Race First. You know, and that book revolves around the life of Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? But it's a book nonetheless. Race First. And that's where I ain't gonna say that's where I first came across that ideology. But man, I tapped into that book. When I talk about being race first, black people, I gotta argue with black people the most. We the only ones that tend not to understand what's being said. And we like to start pointing out like how obviously I'm not talking about all black. Obviously I know that we have some agents. Obviously I know that we have some Sambos in the mix. Obviously I'm not talking about being with them first. Obviously. That should go without saying. That's like Captain Obvious, pointing out the obvious. Race first is me talking about, listen, when it comes to business, when it comes to products and services, I am going to strive to get this product or service from a black person that I respect and fool with before I go to anybody else to get it. Notice I said that I respect and I fool with, and that has a good product or service. I'm not about to just do business with any black person simply because they black. That's not race first. Race first is saying, oh, personal training. Oh, I need a personal trainer. Let me seek out all the black personal trainers first to see if I can find a good quality black one first. If I can't find a good quality black personal trainer first, then I'm going to seek some other ones. That's not saying, hey, the first black personal trainer that I come across, I'm rocking with them. No, we going to vet out the ones that's no good. But my first priority is my people. So I'm going to find a qualified black personal trainer first. Therapy. Race first is saying, oh, I need a therapist. So let me go find a qualified, well-respected black therapist first. If I cannot find one that I rock with and fool with, then I will go to the white side. That's what it means to be race first. Race first is saying, oh, even in dating, listen, I'm going to try to find me a black sister that's well qualified, that's respectable, that's honorable, that's righteous, whatever your qualifications are. I'm going to seek her out first. If I feel like I done exhausted my options, then I may dabble on the other side. I ain't dabbling on the other side at all when it comes to that. But that's what race first is, man. I'm prioritizing my people first. I'm trying to break bread with my people first. I'm trying to support my people first. I'm trying to big up my people first. That's what I'm on. That don't mean I hate any other group. That ain't saying, oh, you must hate white people. No. I don't hate them at all. I don't have no problem with them. I don't hate Asians. I don't have no problem with them. I'm just prioritizing doing business with my people first. Easy. Everybody else does it. I know we got Bosnians over here where I'm at. The Bosnian community where I'm at in St. Louis, on the south side of St. Louis, is deep. The Bosnians do it. Like, all right, man, we need some food. We're going to go get the Bosnian food first. Then we may dabble with some of this other food. But we striving to get some Bosnian dishes before we get something else. And we're going to try to get it from another Bosnian because the Bosnians can't do it like can't nobody else do it like we do it. If I want Bosnian food, I'm going to go to the Bosnians. That's how the Bosnians looking at it. If we want some Bosnian clothes, we finna go to the Bosnians. We finna go try to buy clothes from our people first. Then we may look at other options. That's what they do. But when you start talking like that as a black man, a black woman, now all of a sudden, you get called and you get called racist, but you get called racist by your own people. I get called racist by black people. And they don't understand it. Willie Fuller Jr. told y'all that we cannot be racist. And I did a video on that back in the day when I broke down his book. But Willie Fuller Jr. and Francis Chris Wilson both told y'all that we cannot be racist when you understand what racism is. He told y'all it's a difference between being prejudiced and being racist. We can be prejudiced, but we cannot practice racism. And they told y'all that. But yet again, when I start talking about being race first, black people are like, oh, that's racist. Oh, you racist. We can't be that, man. And your elders and your ancestors then told you that. It is impossible in this structure that we in this system that we are living in, for us to practice racism. It is impossible at this point. Can't practice that. Can't do it. Yeah, you can have a prejudice just like everybody else, but you cannot practice racism. You can't do it. Listen, a statement like me saying I only deal with my sisters, I don't deal with white women. That's not racism. Yeah, that could be considered a prejudice. It's a preference, but it is not racism. It's not racist. Yeah, it's not at all. You know what I'm saying? So again, we got to break down that difference, man. Got to break down that difference. Me and my views is not preventing a white child or a white person from doing anything in life. Me having the view of being race first is not going to stop a white man from making money. Me having the outlook of being race first is not going to prevent a white man from doing anything, from owning businesses, from making money, from moving up the ladder in corporate America. It's not doing that. It's not at all. We ain't in control of the creation of policies and things like that. Come on now. I'm not miseducating white children. I don't have that power, man. I don't have the power to do that. I don't have the power to do that. So again, when we talk about racism, man, we got to understand that difference between being racist, being prejudiced. And we got to understand where racism is. Y'all be hearing remarks and saying that's racist. No, it's not. It's a preference. Again, when I say race first, when I say I'm dealing with my sisters first, I don't deal with no other group. Prejudice, preference. And you can call it what it is. Everybody has it. Everybody has it, man. Everybody has a preference. Everybody has a prejudice. Everybody has it, man. Everybody has nothing is wrong with that. But don't accuse me of being racist, though. Don't accuse me of practicing racism. That's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's just nonsense. And again, when a black person spits that type of information, it's like, man, you miseducated at this particular point. You lack the education. You ignorant towards the truth, you know? So we got to break it down. King me, peace, peace. What's happening, my brother? Dread Mike, 100%. And this is back in my day, man. This is back in the day when I used to be going hard. back in the day when I'm watching Sonetta debates and you know what I'm saying. I'm reading all the Amos and Wilson, you know, all of this stuff, man. I used to have some crazy conversations along these lines. Man, I ain't gonna, man, listen, I promise y'all I wish I had access to my first Facebook page so y'all can see the threats I was getting, not only from white folk, but from black folks, and how everybody was calling me racist, hated white people, this, that, and the third. Boy, I wish I had the receipts, man. I wish they didn't do me like that. I wish they didn't do me like that so I can pull up those receipts, man. I wish, man. You know how they got the memories on your Facebook? I wish I could tap back into those on my first Facebook page. Y'all know I done been through 3 Facebook pages, man. That's how real in the field it got. You know, that's how I could tell y'all for 100% certain. I could tell y'all that I know for a fact, you know, the feds always tapped in. Man, I'm telling y'all, I know that these bots, these feds, they be tapped in. They used to inbox me. I'm telling y'all, you would get that inbox on Facebook, somebody telling you to watch what you saying. And then you go back the next day and try to find that profile, boy, the profile gone. I was getting all of that. I'm telling y'all, I'm speaking from experience. I ain't making this type of stuff up. That's how I know some of the things that I was saying was right and exact and truthful. Because I was getting those type of threats from those type of pages. Jakari, they would warn me. They would say, listen, you need to watch what you saying. You speaking on some things that some people in powerful positions are not too fond of. Serious, 100%. I'm not making this up. It was like they didn't tell me what I was saying was false. They didn't tell me what I was saying was a lie. They said you just need to watch what you're saying. He said because you can offend some very powerful people. It's some people in powerful positions that would not be too fond of what you're saying or the information that you're sharing. Because at that point I'm sharing a lot of books. I was posting books. I was posting information in the books, highlights. I was posting all that. And at that time, I was posting a lot of stuff about governments and things like that in regards to the agendas that they had on black folks and just in the world in general. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm telling y'all, like, this is real in the field. This is why I had to be strategic on YouTube. This is one of the reasons why I didn't even have a YouTube channel for the longest, because I'm like, if I create the YouTube channel and talk about what I really want to talk about, which is this type of information, I don't know if you all have realized it, but when I talk about this information, I go in more than any other topic. Like, this is when I'm in my most comfortable element. If y'all have not noticed, I can talk about this stuff for days, for years. You know what I'm saying? But I had to be strategic. I'm like, man, I see it. People that talk about this information, their platforms don't exist, don't last long once they get wind of it. Man, I tried to tap in, contrary to how you feel about Farrakhan. Man, I tried to tap into some old Farrakhan speeches that I used to watch back in the day. Man, you can't find any of them. Can't find any of them. I'm like, man, where are all his speeches at? I was trying to find his speeches about that dealt with the unification between black men and black women. I was trying to find those speeches that I used to tap into back in the day. Man, I'm like, hold up, where are all the speeches at? I'm knowing the answer, but I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know, it's crazy. And I spoke this kind of to myself. You know, I said it's crazy. I said YouTube is oversat. I said it's a bunch of content on YouTube, but it's not a bunch of content on YouTube. It's a bunch of people talking on YouTube. It's all type of channels and platforms, but it's no content at the same time. It sounds like an oxymoron. It's a lot on YouTube, but it's not at the same time, because they have forced us. They have tried to force us. They ain't tried to, they have done it. They have forced us on YouTube and these platforms to communicate within the confines of what they deem as suitable. So everybody is literally talking about the same things. That's what they have done. That's what they have done on the internet. Like, that's what they have done on YouTube. They have forced us to communicate within the confines of the information or content that they deem suitable. So you see, everybody has a podcast. Everybody is on YouTube with a channel and talking, but we all talking about the same things because we have to. Because the moment you try to talk about something else, YouTube finna be like, strike one. I got one strike. So I know I got one strike. I can only get 2 more strikes before my channel is gone. So I already got 1 strike. I'm already on strike 1. The moment I start talking about the pandemic, they got me. So I'm walking on eggshells right now. So I can't get 2 more strikes. You know what I'm saying? So again, it is what it is. They have forced us to communicate within the confines of what they seem doodle or deemed suitable. Like straight up. So everybody on YouTube, but nobody saying nothing. Cause everybody really, hey, people be afraid. People be afraid because it's all about being monetized. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that. So man, like I said, I got some OGs that I respect, and I know they can be going harder on their pages than they going because they music. I'm like, fam, you be going hard on your music, but your channel you ain't going that hard because it's like they can't. They don't want to. You know what I'm saying? A-Shell for sure. When I got that strike, I was like, yeah, I struck a nerve. You know what I'm saying? I struck a nerve. Like, I know it. And this ain't, I'm telling y'all, and this ain't even to make myself appear a certain type of way. Because I truthfully feel, and I have, like, I don't want to speak it into existence, but I feel this way about my life personally. I feel like I was ahead of my time in a lot of different aspects. And I feel like a lot of what I'm on is not going to get appreciated now at all. For one, it was the thing back then. Like a lot of people was on it back then. A lot of people was rocking with it back then. Now we on a whole different vibe. We warm with one another. So this stuff right now that I'm trying to talk about, unifying us and things like that, and letting y'all know that it's still a war against us, like that's not popular right now. It's not popular. I was talking about it before it was popular, and then once it caught on, I was still on it. But when it was popular, I wasn't on YouTube. Like the channel, like Sonetta, things like that. Like their platforms grew at that time because it was popular. Hence how you had some people like a Brother Polite that was able to scam the black community. Because people were spitting that black consciousness to capitalize off of it. Because it was popular back then. So you had people like that. You had people that was preying on that. Like, oh, okay, it's popular to talk about this black consciousness. They out here killing the black man. They out here, Sandra Bland. You know what I'm saying? They out here killing them. You know, Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, like all of this stuff is happening. Yeah, we putting the fist up. We gonna capitalize off of it. And it was happening. It was happening. Dudes ain't really care about black people for real. Dudes ain't care about black folk for real. They was trying to find a way to it was marketing for a lot of folks. So I stayed off of YouTube and things like that for that reason, because I respected the stuff too much. I was like, man, I ain't finna get like people, hey man, you need to get on YouTube, you need woo woo. I'm not finna get on these platforms just to try to capitalize off of this energy right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a real war going on out here, man. We gotta survive. This back in the days where I had a survival kit. I got canned goods in my people's crib. And man, I had a bed at my people's crib that got the drawers on the side. You go there right now, I had canned goods in that joint. It's canned goods in that joint right now. I was preparing for survival, yo. I had canned goods. I'm watching survival videos, so I'm thinking it's gonna get real in the field. You know, I'm seeing how to survive in the wilderness. That's what I was on. I ain't care about a YouTube channel and things like that. So I was like, man, and then I was making music. I was doing music and all that, man. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, I ain't trying to capitalize off of that energy for what? You know, so I came in late in the game. Like right now, it's like I'm 10, 12 years late. So it's like now it's not the most popular information. It's just not at all. Because again, they have censored all of that information. If they allowed that information to stay on the surface, if they allowed that information to stay on the internet, we'd still be tapped in. But they saw what that was doing. When you had all these speeches, when you had all these documentaries and people had access to them, all they had to do was just type it in. And you can share it on your Facebook. You can share it on your Twitter. You can share it on your, you know what I'm saying? You can share that joint. And all these people was getting hip. They was like, nah, we can't have it. We can't have that, fam. Nope. Let's censor this. Let's ban this guy. Let's ban this guy. Let's delete this video. Let's delete this channel. Let's do all of that. Just like when conscious music was a thing, and they was like, nope, we gotta neutralize that. We gotta neutralize it. That's what like that's what we own. You know, and again, I just feel like a lot of this information, it goes under the radar. It's under the radar because it's not fitting into the status quo or the consensus these days. It's not as popular, yo. It's just not. And it's not gonna get appreciated. It's not gonna get appreciated. You know, but we gonna still push this information. We gonna still push this energy for sure. You know, we gonna do it 100%. This information is in me. You know how we feel like certain things are just in our blood, like it's in my blood to be that, to be rebellious. No matter how many times I try to put out friendly content, it don't even sit well with me. It sits well with me when I start going in on the system. When I start dropping this type of information, that's when I feel good. That's when I feel great about my life. When I start doing something like that. Like when I put out, you know what I'm saying? When I put out that cupcake fluffy content, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like I'm keeping it real with y'all. I'm a controversial dude, and it ain't even by nature. It's just because I'm a black man with knowledge of self. So when you a black man and you have knowledge of self, like by design, you gonna be controversial. That's me. I'm gonna say what needs to be said, man. I'm gonna do the knowledge and I'm gonna spit that knowledge. That's what I'm gonna do. That's where I'm more comfortable. I don't care anything about anything else. I don't care about anything else, man. I don't really care to tell you. Listen, we already know. We already know like some of this basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? We already know a lot of this basic stuff out here, man. But a lot of the stuff that's happening to us, we not hip to. We not hip to it. No labels, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Kwame, what's happening? Akuma, you say any advice on writing books? Oh yeah, hey, just man, it's so easy to self-publish a book, fam. I didn't forgot those websites as far as like getting it. Man, the words leaving me. But when you write the book, man, and you want to like get it edited and things like that, man, you got a Fiverr and things like that. So type the book. Get your Word, Microsoft Word document, whatever the case. Figure out how you want to. That's it. Formatting. All right. So figure out what 6x9, whatever you need the book to be. Figure that out. Type your book up. Go on the Fiverr and I think Upwork or whatever it is. I can't remember the other name. It's Upwork, Fiverr, whatever. And you can find somebody to format, edit your book for the low. Once they edit it, find somebody to like create the cover photo for you or the cover for you. And you can find them on them same sites. I got somebody that I can send to you. And then it takes nothing to upload your book, to self-publish it. Like at all. The hardest part about writing a book is writing the book. The other stuff is easy. Chris, and that's where I'm at in regards to what I'm on. Shifting that narrative. Because there was a time where the support was heavy. I feel like brothers got greedy though. The brothers that had that influence, that capitalized off the energy at that time, they betrayed the people. They scammed the people. So you had your brother polites and things like that back in the day, man. They was getting all support from black folks, but they was stealing the money. They was scamming the black folks out of their money. They betrayed the black folk. So a lot of these dudes, man, they capitalized off their energy at the time, but them dudes was scammed. They got greedy. They started to emulate the ways and actions of their white counterparts. They got greedy and they started manipulating and deceiving their people. Hence why I don't rock with a lot of them to this day. They scam their people. Man, you had the energy. The energy was high. They were supporting you. They throwing you thousands of dollars and you taking it and you are scamming them. Not giving them the products that they paying for. Not supplying them with the services that they are paying for. Like we can't be doing that. So once the energy reaches that level again, we can't, it's the people that have the influence They fail us a lot of the time. So we got to do the knowledge to that. Man, like for the most part, I'm going to keep it real. Yeah, black people going to support other folk. They going to support other folk. But man, it don't take much. It don't, man, I know a lot, man, every other black person that I come across, they want to support a black business. They want to. That ain't the problem, man. A lot of these businesses, man, I done seen a lot of black businesses that be taking L's. I've seen a lot of black businesses that have terrible customer service. That you get that everywhere. But it's like, man, we gotta tighten up in that regard. And I'm not a fan of the customer having a bad experience at the black business and putting them on blast on social media, because you don't do that to white businesses. We got to learn how to settle these things behind closed doors. But we gotta tighten that up. But I done seen people want to support black folks, then go support the black person, give them the money, don't get the product. Give them invest 10,000, 20,000. Give them all this money because they didn't promise them something. They don't get what they was promised. I done seen that too many times. Chris, I'm gonna have to disagree with that, because that, I don't know if you remember it, but when that about 2010, like 2009, 2010, when like Sonetta TV and all these platforms was popping, black people was rocking with each other hard. That's why people like Brother Polite. That's why Brother Polite's, Young Pharaohs. That's why all of these dudes that's why all of these dudes are able to do what they're able to do now. They was put on by their own people. They were put on by their own people. The Young Pharaohs, the Brother Polites, the Umar Johnsons. They came out of this era that I'm talking about. They came out of that. This time that I'm talking about, these dudes came out of that. And the only reason why they are the people that they are today is because black people supported them. The only reason why these Brother Polites, Umar Johnsons, and Pharaohs, Boyce Watkins, all of these dudes at that time, this was all around the same time. Because black people were fiending for that energy because of what was going on, because of the information that was being put out here. The only reason why them dudes have any ounce of a platform right now is because black people put them on. The only reason. And some of them Jay Morrison. Man, y'all, I remember Jay Morrison. Man, we was riding with our people heavy. Fam, I remember Jay Morrison with that real estate fund. But I worked at the bank. Man, I had people coming into that bank like, man, I'm finna withdraw. I'm finna invest in this real estate fund. You ever heard of Jay Morrison? Man, it was a lot of people on that vibe. Cause I think at that time, what was it? I forgot the amount, man. But I was working at the bank, and I'd never forget that. It was crazy, man. People was lining, they was ready. Like, I'm finna invest in this, woo woo. They was going, it's going crazy. They're going hard. And he wasn't asking for no chump change. He wasn't asking for no chump change. I actually feel like that's a misconception, in all honesty, that we don't support each other like that. I feel like that's a misconception. Like, yeah, but just look at, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's a misconception. Man, it happens, but I don't feel like it's as bad as they want us to believe. I feel like when you are a genuine brother, like I said, for instance, on my end, my business, man, 80-90% of the people that I train, they was like, man, I'm so glad I found a black trainer, a black male trainer. Oh, I'm so glad I found a black trainer. Like, they was seeking that. Matter of fact, the reason why I started on my journey when I was working at a commercial gym, the black woman, shout out to this black woman, this older black woman told me, she said, man, I'm tired of giving these white people my money. She said, is there any way you can train me outside of this gym so where you can receive 100% of my money? I'm tired of giving my white people this money. She says, no offense to you, I want to continue to train with you, but I don't want to keep paying these white folks this money when they don't really care about me. And that's when I started training people at the crib. At that time, I ain't had no gym, had nowhere else to train folk. So I started training that lady at her crib in her basement, because she was started giving white folks her money. And every other person that I walk into is like, man, I'm trying to find a black trainer, woo woo. So we out here. It's the propaganda, it's the machine at play. And I was reading something and came across something that was talking about the mortality rate. And it's like we got to understand some of the propaganda that's out here. I was reading something about the mortality rate between, I think, the years of 99 and 2013. And it was talking about the mortality rate of black people actually decreasing, but the mortality rate of white people was actually on the incline due to like drug, you know what I'm saying, drugs and things like that. But it was crazy. If you watch the news from 99 to 2013, you would have thought that our mortality rate went up, increased, just from watching the news. From 99 to 2013, if you watch the news, you like, dang, our mortality rate is it that mug actually declined. The white folks' mortality rate went up. Crazy. I came across that. I was like, that he was, and in the article that I was reading, they was like, yeah, even considering the fact that we got them killing us, we got us killing us. They was like, between them that 14-year period, the mortality rate of black it went down. So we were dying less than white folk, white men in particular. But that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily hear about that. They want us to think that we just out here killing each other. We just out here dying at a rapid rate, which that's happening. But it wasn't at the rate that they would have us believe if you watch the news. See, a lot of their problems get swept under the rug. See, I went to a private school from sophomore year to senior year. When you go to private school, when you play sports, you play against other private schools. See, I went to a private school that was like for the black folk. So when you play against some of these other private schools for like the rich white folks, that's when you start coming across the drug problem. When you go into these white schools, they have a big drug problem, but it gets swept under the rug. It don't get documented. It don't get documented at all. Why? Because the father of such and such that got found with the drugs, he owned half the businesses down the street. So it gets swept under the rug. Whereas if I got the same drugs and bring them in the school, it's going to make the headline news and I'm finna get locked up. Man, them white schools, them white private schools, and just white schools in general in them wealthy areas, man, drug infested. Drug infested, fam. But nobody was taught. It was not in the news. You didn't know about it. You didn't know. Man, I got a situation right now. I trained somebody, her son just went to a homecoming on the white side of town, and a young white chick overdosed at the homecoming on alcohol. You look that up in the news, you can't even find it. It's not even a headline. Like, you can't even find an article that's talking about this exact story that I just brought up. A white girl, she overdosed at the homecoming, at the high school homecoming, and it is not national news. I typed in the school name and overdose, and you can't even find an article on it. Now, if you go to a black school and somebody overdoses at the black school, it is headline front page news. Oh, somebody overdosed at the black school. Oh my gosh, how is alcohol getting into this homecoming? How are drugs getting into these schools? That's what they would have did if it was a black school. But since it was a white school, you don't find any articles on the situation. Crazy, fam. Crazy. Man, you wouldn't have even had to overdose at the black school. Somebody just getting caught with the alcohol at the black school, we on front page news. Straight up. White chick, young white girl, she overdosed on alcohol at the homecoming. I guarantee you she has some powerful family members, and they like, we cannot let this information leak out. That's going to mess up the family name. That's going to tarnish the reputation. 48 laws of power say reputation is everything, guarded with your life. So the white family is like, nah, we can't let this become news. We got to protect the identity of our daughter, of our family. So this better not leak out. We talking about in the age of social media, everybody has smartphones. How you mean to tell me we ain't got no video of this? How you mean to tell me how you mean to tell me we ain't got no information on this in 2022? But you can't find nothing on it. This young white chick overdosed at the homecoming, and you can't find no information on it. Let that be a black homecoming. Oh boy, they finna thugs. Oh, they got drugs at the homecoming. This is a bunch of thugs, hoodlums. delinquents, juvenile. They calling us everything under the sun. Everything under the sun. So that's the game that's being played, man. That is trick. Not Elijah Muhammad called it trick knowledge. That's what it is. The media gonna show us one thing, but that ain't necessarily a representation of the truth. They like to make things on our end appear worse than what they are. They like to make it appear like the dysfunction. This is what they like to make it appear as if the dysfunction between black men and black women is just terrible, worse than any other group. I am telling you, all of these other groups have the same type of problems in-house. It just doesn't get publicized like ours does. Come on now. I'm telling y'all this from like experience and observation. It just doesn't get publicized. They not striving to make money off of it, but they have these problems. I done seen it in the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? Where the Asian women fed up with the Asian men and woo woo woo. I done seen it, man. I done seen this, man. Seen it with my own eyes. I definitely done seen it on the white side, where the white women getting fed up with the white men, this, that, and the third. Just got a bunch of problems with them. All of this type of stuff. I seen it. Seen it, heard it, observed it. Been around it, actually. So for real, man, we gotta, M1 from Dead Prez said, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. I live by that, and I'ma always live by that. I'ma always live by that. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Straight up. And I done did all this building on this subject matter, and I ain't even tap into like a key piece of research that I did to show and prove what I was even talking about. And let me build on that before I forget. I just want to tap into this so y'all can do some further research. If y'all not familiar with Daniel Moynihan and the Moynihan report that came out in 1965, he was like the Assistant Secretary of Labor for President Lyndon B. Johnson at the time. If you're not familiar with the Moynihan report that was released and leaked out in 1965, go do the knowledge to that. Moynihan, in that report, he was talking about the dysfunction between black men and black women and things like that. And he was talking about how the man being forced into an inferior role is going to lead to more violence, more crime, more dysfunction. And he was like, in order to restore the family structure of the black family, the man has to be put back in his proper position as breadwinner, as head of the household. This is what was in his report. Daniel Moynihan. Just look this report up if you can find it. But Daniel Moynihan, in the Moynihan report, he was saying the black man being forced into an inferior role. An inferior role. And a black woman being forced into that masculine role is going to lead to more violence, crime, dysfunction. And he was like, if we want to stop that, then we got to put the black man in his proper position. As long as the black man is not in his proper position, this is what's going to happen. So in that report, he was pushing for the administration at the time. He was pushing for policies like anti-poverty type of policies, employment for black men, those type of situations, so the black man can get back into his proper position. And at this time where this report came out, man, the absent black fathers, it was at like 20-some%. So it wasn't even as big of a deal as it is now. And he still felt the need to write this report. He was like, man, we got to have anti-poverty campaigns. We got to fight for like employment for the black man, this, that, and the third. This was in the report. Daniel Moynihan. And you had some what they call whistleblowers. Some whistleblowers within the government that got hip. They got hip to this report, right? They got hip to the report. And they leaked it out. So when they leaked out the report, fam, y'all already know what happened. This was a time where white feminists was real in the field. So when you start saying something like, oh, a black man being forced into an inferior role, or a man being forced into an inferior role, and a woman being forced to take on a masculine role. And if we want things to change, we got to put the man back in his proper place. Them feminists wasn't having that. The white feminists at the time, they wasn't having that. So that created a big problem when this article, when it leaked out, when the report leaked out, when it leaked out on them, you know. So it was crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, do the knowledge to it, man. Do the knowledge to it. Do the knowledge. No. People ask for the spelling. It's Moynihan. Look it up. Do the knowledge to that, fam. Do the knowledge. Do the knowledge. They had whistleblowers within that got hip to the report, leaked that joint. Feminists and all these white folks start getting up in their feelings like, what y'all mean? Nah, we can't put. And then y'all already know how the story goes from that. We already know the government didn't act on what the dude was suggesting in the report. They viewed us more as a threat at that point. So actually, the report ended up backfiring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it backfired. They did the total opposite. They did the total opposite. Once it leaked out, it was a wrap. They said, oh, okay. This is how they interpret it. They was like, oh, so you feel like if we put the black man in his proper position, things will get better? Also, that means we definitely gonna strive to keep him at the bottom now. So it backfired on bro. You know what I'm saying? He had good intentions, but no, it backfired. He should have understood the system he was dealing with. Oh, so you saying if we put the black man in his proper position and let him be a man, let him provide for his family, that we gonna see crime decrease, we gonna see poverty decrease? Hold on, nah, we can't have that. Thanks for this report. We see him more as a threat now. We see him more as a threat. So it backfired. But that's real in the field, man. Do the knowledge of that report. It's letting you know how important the black man is, and it's letting you know why they will continue to see us as a threat. It's letting you know. That report lets you know. If you want to restore the black family, listen, restoring the black family is all about putting the black man back in his proper place. That's all that needs to happen. That's all that needs to happen. And it's a few factors. It's a few factors in play in order for that to happen. First, the black men, we got to be willing to take on that role. You know what I'm saying? We got to be willing to live. We got to be living to be that man and take that role. And then you got to deal with the sisters that the sisters got to allow us to, you know what I'm saying? They got to allow it to happen. We can't be arguing with you when we striving to take on that role. You know what I'm saying? So it's teamwork. So first, black man, you got to acknowledge that that's your role. You got to be that man. And then you got to live out that reality, whether these women like it or not. If that woman don't like it, if she don't like you taking on that energy and taking on that role, move on. We ain't, nope. Yeah, move on. Let her find her another sucker. But once you realize who you are, and once you realize things ain't gonna change until you take on this position, any woman that's not in alignment with that, move on. Keep it pushing. Let her fall. Let her get with another sucker. Period. Point blank. You know, straight up. See, y'all on some other stuff, man. Y'all be trying to argue with these women that ain't trying to be on that. Nah, that ain't what you supposed to do. That ain't what you supposed to do. Be a man. You tell that. Listen, tell that sister, tell that woman what it is. For real, when you come right, when that's the one for you, when y'all compatible, she gonna bear witness to your authority. You know what I'm saying? If she that one, she gonna bear witness to your authority, right? She gonna let you lead. She gonna let you guide her. You know what I'm saying? When you that one, she gonna bear witness to that authority. And an honest sister gonna tell you that, contrary to the energy that's out here. You know what I'm saying? A sister gonna tell you that. Honest sister is gonna tell you that. Just like an honest white person gonna tell you the truth about what they was on or what they be on. An honest sister is gonna tell you, yeah, when you come to me correct, I'm going to respect that authority and I'm gonna let you guide, I'm gonna let you lead. Now, of course, we ain't talking about the corrupted sisters. Nah. We ain't talking about them. But when you come correct and you and that sister got a thing going, y'all vibing, y'all connecting, you come correct, oh, she finna let you lead, black man. She finna let you lead. She finna let you lead. Like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. When you coming correct, when you got that knowledge of self, when you taking on your role as a man, and you ain't, listen, you don't care what she's saying about, like, about these roles, like, you know what it is, like, you finna be the man. She finna respect that authority. Stop playing with me. Like, this is what it is. This how this gonna go down. You don't like it, go find you somebody else. Go find you a punk. You know, we finna start speaking. We finna start speaking like they spoke back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When you lay the law down to that woman she don't like, go find you a sissy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna start talking like that. Go find you a punk. Cause that's what you want. That's what you want. That's what you want. Go find you something like that. Go find you something like that. Go be with that. You know what I'm saying? Go be with that. You want that type of energy? You want that feminine energy? You might as well go. You be a lesbian or something. You know what I'm saying? Be a lesbian. You want that feminine energy? Go be a lesbian. Go deal with other women or something. But when you lay the law down and you get that pushback, that's what you tell them, man. Go get you a punk. Go get you a sissy. Go get you another woman or something. But this ain't that. I ain't coming with that feminine. I ain't coming with that feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't that. The feminine energy, that ain't me. I ain't coming with that energy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got that energy in me like that. Like, straight up, I ain't coming with that type of energy, man. That is not the energy that I'm rolling with, like, at all. So if that's the energy that you roll with, there's plenty of them out here. Plenty of them out here. But you want, hey, you complaining about them. These weak dudes, woo woo. So if you don't want no real man, you might as well go ahead and get with you a woman or something. I don't know. At this point, you know what I'm saying? You just confused and lost. We trying to tell you what it is. You don't want to hear it. So go ahead and go dabble with another woman or something. Obviously, you don't like the weak man. You complaining about him. You know what I'm saying? So when a man comes and lays down the law, you want to give him pushback, go get with you another woman or something. That's what it is, man. Y'all be trying. Y'all listen. Y'all be arguing with these women. Y'all be going back and forth with these women. Y'all be getting emotional with the women. Nah, tell the woman what it is. If she don't accept it, then boom, we moving on. Like, word is bond, as they say, man. Y'all be playing too much, man. Ain't nobody got time to be playing. Let them know. All right, this is what it is. I ain't finna tolerate that. I talked, man. I got a book, man. It's called The Power of Conflict. You know what I'm saying? And it just talks about the power that comes with not holding your tongue and just telling it like it is, fam. Just do that, man. Forget all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna bite my tongue because I'm trying to get something from you. Whether it be sex, whether it be whatever. Like, nah. Tell her like it is, bro. Tell her like it is. Tell her like it is. Give her the ultimatum. Like, look, this is what it's gonna be. You talking to me, this how it is, this how it's gonna be. You don't like it. It's a boatload of these weak dudes that you can go choose from. I might know a few. You can go deal with them. Straight up. Straight up, man. Ain't no sense even playing around no more, man. For real. What y'all playing around for? What y'all playing around for, man? For real. We gotta build, man. Hey, we gotta build, and the only way that we gonna change anything, again, like, I don't know about y'all. I don't know why y'all tap in to me, things like that. But I'm about the unification of the black man and black woman. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. I like to see black men and black women together. I don't like to see them at odds. I like to see them together. I like to see, like, I be proud. I just saw something with Grant Hill and Tamia. I like to see that. Like, I like to see black couples remain together for a very long time with no problems. I like to see that type of stuff. That's what I'm on. Like, I like to see that. I don't care about the dysfunction. Oh, who cheated on who cheated on that? I don't want to hear that. Oh, the dude cheated on Nia Long. I don't want to hear that, fam. I don't want to talk about that. I don't even want to get at no. I don't want to get at no energy. You fool cheating on Nia Long with a white chick that don't look like half anything. You an idiot, fam. You an idiot, and I'm gonna keep pushing. Yeah, you an idiot, and I'm gonna keep pushing. And I know y'all seen the picture of the white chick that he didn't cheated on Nia Long with. That he, you know what I'm saying, that he was creeping on Nia Long with. I know y'all saw that. I know y'all saw that picture. I know y'all saw that picture, fam. I know y'all saw it. I know y'all saw her. But y'all drug Nia Long through the mud. Y'all talked about Nia Long being washed up. Y'all drug her through the mud, and y'all ain't said nothing about this white chick that dude and crept on her with. I ain't seen nobody dragging her. Man, she hideous. She hideous. I'ma drag her. I'm dragging that white chick. I don't know her name, but y'all know how I go. White people got power, so they can keep her name. They can keep her name a secret. But that white chick was hideous, fam. Ugly. Washed up. She 34 like she 64. Yeah, oh, ugly white chick, fam. Like, quit playing with me, man. Y'all, if y'all gonna drag Nia Long, get that white chick the same energy. Y'all coming at Nia Long like y'all wasn't crushing on Nia Long back in the day. Talking about how washed up she is and how old she is. Boy, and y'all ain't said nothing about this white chick that I know y'all saw. Man, y'all foul out here. That's why I be going in on y'all. Cause y'all foul. That's foul. Y'all couldn't wait to tear her down. Y'all couldn't wait to tear Nia Long down. Y'all couldn't wait. But then y'all saw this white chick, I ain't heard nothing. Boy, I'm giving them the same. I'm giving them more of that energy, fam. Nah, she hideous. Fam, she hideous, and Nia Long look way better. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. Flat out. Y'all had Nia Long messed up, fam. That's crazy. Y'all couldn't wait. Nia Long, y'all went, oh, she washed up. He probably got him a pretty young thing. I heard what y'all was saying. I saw what y'all was saying. Y'all can't run from that. Y'all, he probably cheated on her with some pretty young thing. Some pretty young thing. He probably got him a young thing. And then now the picture comes out, y'all looking stupid. Y'all looking stupid. That boy, y'all looking stupid. Y'all looking stupid. I saw what y'all was on. Yeah, she probably got him a pretty young thing. Y'all was straight amp. Y'all was like, yeah, he probably cheated on Nia. He probably crept on Nia alone with something pretty and young. Cause she old and washed up. And then here she go. Get out of here, man. Stop playing with me. Boy, I can't wait for them to release her name. So we can create memes. So we can talk about her. Boy, I can't wait. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, we finna go in. Mahogany, 100%. But when I said it, oh boy, brother jumped on my head. Brother jumped when I will not forget it. I don't forget things like that, man. When I said that, it was like, oh, Nia Long washed up. He probably was getting tired of it. Y'all don't know how Nia Long act in person. I don't care about none of that. Wasn't no gun in his head forcing him to be with her, but whatever, man. I just know y'all better get that white chick the same energy. That's all I'm saying. Rodney, what you say in regards to raising a black family, what's your thoughts on both parents having full-time careers? How can a child be raised properly and consciously in this case? Rodney, I'm going to give you, listen, I'm going to break this down because it's a great question. But let me break this down several ways. Right now, in the grand scheme of things, that's why homeschooling is important. But let's just knock that out. That's why the village is important. See, white families don't necessarily have to worry about that. See, a white man, a white woman, they can both have careers, send their children off to school, and they will still get properly educated. Black people, we can't do that. If we both got careers, then we got to send our children off to these institutions that's going to miseducate our children. So now, if homeschooling is not an option, if one party can't say, look, I'm going to create I'm going to do a home-based business so I can stay home and educate the child. If that's not a possibility, then we got to do our work as a black community to create more platforms so we can properly educate the children ourselves. We got to create schools. We got to create virtual schools, whatever the case may be. So when we both have careers, we can send our children off to other black people that's educating our child and giving them the black truth, not the white truth. So in the grand scheme of things, I feel like that's the solution. But on top of that, the third thing is like, even still, Both parents having careers. You still have time. You make time for what's important. So if you feel like the education of your child is important, you got to make time for that. You got to make time to give that child the truth. We got time to go get our nails did. We got time to go get drinks. We got time to go to basketball games. We got time to do all of that. You have time to educate your child thoroughly. So at the end of the day, it really ain't no excuse. You got time to plant some seeds in the mind of your child. You should never let work get in the way of that. If you working too much, it's time to reevaluate life. You know what I'm saying? Because if your child played a sport, I guarantee you're going to find a way to attend the games. You know what I'm saying? Or take them to practice, pick them up from practice, things like that. So you got to do the same thing when it comes to properly educating your child as well. Find the time. Find the time. Treat it like a sport. Oh man, hey man, my son got a game on Saturday at 12. I got to take off. I can't go to work. Oh, I ain't gonna take on no clients. Do the same for your education. Friday is knowledge of self day. You know what I'm saying? From 5 to 9, man, we building on black information. I don't take clients. I don't do no work on that day. It's strictly dedicated to this child. We watching these speeches. We reading these books. All of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what you got to do. Carve out that time. Because we're gonna carve out time for what's important. But on top of that, we just got to do a better job as a community and a village, so that we can send our children off to black institutions and not worry about them being miseducated. That would be ideal. That would be ideal. Mahogany, 100%. 100%. That's why, that's why that's my vibe. You know, I try hard. Sometimes I'm probably gonna be harder on brothers than I am on sisters. And I done gave y'all my reasoning on that. First of all, I am a brother, you know, and I came up in the tough love era. So that's how I give it to other brothers. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the only way for men to get the message is to talk to them like a man. I'm not gonna talk like, listen, let's just keep it real. Going back to the interview that I was talking about with Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey said it. Ken Griffey was like, listen, in reference to his kids, Ken Griffey was like, look, when it come to his sons, he was like, listen, my sons don't have no money. I have the money. This is my house. They don't have no money. This is my money. Ken Griffey said that, but he said when it comes to his daughter, he said that's a different ball game. He said it's a different ball game when we talking about the daughter. And that's just the way that it is. We got to accept their reality. Ken Griffey was like, nah, them sons, like, this is my money. They got to make their own money. They got to earn this stuff themselves. That's how he's raising his kids. Ken Griffey worth like 80, 90 million. But he was like, nah, I'll be damned if my son's going to grow up feeling entitled. I'll be damned. Chris Shack said that too, but Ken Griffey on the Pivot podcast, he just said this same exact thing. But Shaq said that too, but Ken Griffey just recently said it in his interview that I was tapped into. But he was like, listen, and he was like from his standpoint of the daughter, he was like, man, he just trying to show his daughter like kind of what a real man is. And he was just like, man, listen, these dudes ain't gonna be able to outdo what I did for my daughter. Now, in a sense, that can create a problem, but it's just different. Asada, appreciate that donation. You say, I've been homeschooling for 18 years. Work opposite shifts from your spouse. Exactly. You know, and Asada, you know what's crazy about that? I know people that work opposite shifts right now, and they doing it like they not doing it to homeschool, but they just doing it in general so that they can get their children off to the, like, you know what I'm saying, to the white schools. So it's like, just apply that same energy to homeschooling the child. But like I was saying, man, I might have a certain energy towards brothers because I feel like that's the only way to you got to talk to a man like a man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna talk to no man like I would talk to a young lady. I'm just not going to do that. It might come off way more harsh the way that I'm going to communicate to another brother. It's just a fact. It's just the way I'm going to do it. I ain't finna talk. First of all, I'm not going to talk to a sister like that because I understand the emotional aspect of being a woman. I'm not going to do that. It's a certain way that I'm going to communicate with this woman versus how I'm going to communicate to this man. Rodney, for sure. And man, for sure. And it's crazy that you bring that up, because that's a problem. See, back in the day, black women didn't mind staying at home with the children, because that was the role. That was the understood and accepted role back in the day. But then when you create policies, covertly and overtly, when you won't rent the black man the apartment, but rent it to his wife, when you trying to kick the black man out the house, now you got to give these black women these jobs. Now you about to start paying these black women that they did not have any rights at all. These women wasn't able to do anything just prior to that. Now you giving them jobs. Now you giving them money. And now they're able to semi take care of themselves. That comes with this illusion of freedom that they feel like they have, which is why they feel like they don't need us. So when you start to try to get them to get back into their position, their proper position, it's gonna be an argument. Which is why that conversation starts an argument. When a brother say, I want my wife to stay at home and teach the kids while I go work, a lot of sisters ain't going for that reason. For that reason. That's why that ends up in an argument. Back in the day, that wasn't even up for discussion. That is what was gonna happen. That's how it was gonna happen. You finna stay at home with these kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the rule. But now it's not the rule, because they didn't have to shift everything, turn everything upside down. Clocks in, exactly. That's why, man, listen. And that's why I'm starting to feel like I got to unleash the energy on y'all. Only a select few people that's really near and dear close to me have ever seen me get into that mode where I'm where I'm just like going off and spazzing. Like, I feel like I be trying. I don't even want to, I be striving to hold back on here for several reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we trying to at least keep the channel up. But man, I'm really kind of done sparing feelings for the most part. I mean, I really never did spare feelings. It is what it is. But like, man, that energy is needed. I'm not here to pacify y'all feelings, man. I'm going to tell you the reason why your blood pressure is high, the reason why your health is garbage, is because you choosing to eat that McDonald's late at night. You choosing to eat that fast food at 11 o'clock. You choosing to eat all that garbage meat, you know what I'm saying, that's been infused with all these antibiotics. Like, you making that decision, fam. You know what I'm saying? You choosing to OD on the alcohol, acting like you ain't got control over that. You know, that's on you. You doing that, fam. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. That's your vibe. That's what you choosing to do. I don't want to hear none of those lame excuses that everybody tends to give me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear that. I done been hearing them excuses way too long. I'm tired of those excuses. You know, we make a ton of excuses. A ton of excuses, fam. Ton of excuses. We keep giving y'all the information and y'all choosing to ignore that. Nah. Nah, that's dead. We gonna give y'all this information, and now y'all are accountable. Y'all are giving this information, and now y'all have to make a decision. What do I do with this information? If I continue to eat this way after dude and giving me this information, then now that's really on me. Terrell, peace, what's happening? Like, man, I'm not finna be playing around with y'all, man. Like, for real. You gotta talk to them, man. When I'm talking to young men, it's a different way that I gotta talk to them, man. I train a little homie right now, man. That's like a family friend, but man, I be having to let this dude know he gotta, like, when he be playing around, I be like, bro, you gotta stop that, fam. You gotta stop being goofy, man. You gotta put in this work. Stop all that playing, fam. Like, you gotta work. Unfortunately, you gotta work 100 times harder than everybody else. So you can't be in here BSing and playing around, fam. It's a time and place for that. But the time where you in here working out is not the time and place for you to be playing around. Focus, concentrate, put in that work. Like, stop playing, man. Stop playing. Y'all gotta stop playing. Like, men, you gotta stop playing and understand your position, your proper position, man. And do everything in your power to reach that. Reclaim your position. Stop playing. Stop crying about what these women won't allow you to do, and do it. Oh, these women won't allow us. Man, what are you talking about? I don't care what these women, I don't care what a woman what she allow and what she don't allow. Man, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I ain't begging for these women to let me be a man. What is wrong with y'all? I'm not asking for these women. I'm not asking for a woman's permission to be a man. Hell no. I don't need a woman's permission to be a man. So I don't care what a woman is allowing. Oh, they won't allow us to lead. Man, I'm going to lead regardless. I'm going to lead regardless to if this woman approves it or not. I don't care what y'all talking about. What y'all mean she won't allow it? Man, y'all better stop playing with me, man. Just, oh, they won't allow me to lead. What? Said no one, said not me. I know I ain't finna say nothing like that. Oh, these women, they won't allow. Man, listen, I'm going to lead regardless. That woman, I guarantee she might have a son. I guarantee you that son gonna listen to me. So yeah, whether she let me lead or not, I guarantee you her son gonna gravitate towards me. So I don't care what she talking about. I don't care what she talking about. That's irrelevant. She ain't got nothing to do with me taking my position back. She ain't got nothing to do with that. Like y'all playing around talking about she won't allow me to do something. What? Man, y'all better just be men and just lead and guide. Forget what somebody won't allow you to do. I ain't asking. That's like asking these white folks won't allow me to. Nah, I'm finna go open up this gym. I ain't finna be like white folks won't allow me to do that. Or if I open up a gym, these white people gonna tear it down. Nah, I'm finna go do what I want to do. I ain't asking for permission. I'm not asking. What are y'all asking for permission for, man? I don't need anybody's permission to do that. I don't need anybody's permission to be a man. I'm just finna be a man. Straight up. We ain't asking. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop with all this asking, fam. Y'all better stop. Y'all better chill out with all that. That's dead, man. Asking that woman, man. Oh, you won't let me. She won't let me lead. She won't let me lead. That right there let me know you ain't manning up right there. When you start saying stuff like that, she won't let me lead. Man, I see why, fam. Cause look what you crying about. She won't let me be me. She won't let me be a man. The fuck? What? She won't let me be a man. She won't let me be the man that I'm supposed to be. Nah. Ain't no man finna come on here saying that. Ain't no man finna be like, she won't let me lead. She won't let me be a man. You letting her son you? You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no woman finna son me. That ain't never happening. It's just not happening, fam. It's not happening and it will never happen. So I don't know what world y'all be living in, but that ain't happening to me. Ain't no chick finna son me or in our culture. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, hey, as one of my older guys said, hey, ain't no woman finna earth me. She ain't finna earth me. It's not happening. We got that first degree to let you know, man, let you know who we are. God of the universe, she ain't finna earth me. She ain't finna earth me. Nah, that's not happening. It's not finna happen at all. You ain't finna earth me. No, we the gods around here. So that's who we gonna be. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be that. We gonna be that. We gonna live out their reality. Yeah, you not finna do that, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you allow that to happen as a man, you need to reevaluate your life. Understand it's a difference between manhood and womanhood. We gotta operate on different vibes. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. We gotta have a different type of energy than they have. It is what it is. Some of y'all dudes out here acting like y'all want to be treated equally like the women. I don't want to be treated like a woman. That's what some of y'all dudes sounded like. Just like they got the narrative, oh, we can do anything a man can do. Y'all done reversed it. Oh, we can do anything a woman can do. We want to be just like the women. If a woman can do it, I can do it. Man, I don't want to be treated like no woman. What? I don't want to be treated like my sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be treated like that. I don't want to be treated like my moms. I don't want to be treated like my grandmother. Like, what are y'all talking about? This is the energy that some of y'all giving off, like y'all want to be treated like y'all sister. I don't want to be treated that way. I done seen how you turn out when you treat it that way. Like y'all want to be treated like these women out here, man. Nah, that's dead, man. That's dead. I'm cool with somebody treat me like a man. I'm cool with getting the tough love because it is what it is. That's gonna help me grow. That's gonna instill some character in me. I ain't gonna whine and cry about it and be like, that's unfair. You ain't talk to my daughter like that. I mean, not my daughter. You ain't talk to my sister like that. You ain't talk to her like that. Man, I'm not finna be on that. I ain't finna be on that. You ain't talk to my sister like that. Of course you ain't gonna talk to her like that. You ain't supposed to. Leo Soul, peace, appreciate that donation for sure. But I ain't on that type of time, man. And that's how some of these dudes be sounding. You don't talk to black women like that. That's what dudes have told me. You don't never say nothing to these sisters like that. Man, shut up. What are you talking about? You don't never hold black women accountable. Man, shut up. Fam, shut up. Shut up, because when I hold y'all accountable, that's holding them accountable. When I hold y'all accountable as black men, that's holding them accountable. Flat out. When I hold myself accountable, when I do what's right and exact, woman falls in line. That's just the way. They ain't entertaining any other type of ideology. What's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all be crying to me about some nonsense. And this how y'all be crying to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling y'all out that be crying to me like that. Type of garbage stuff is that, man? That's feminine. That's what the women do that y'all complaining about. You don't talk about women like that. Sounds stupid. Sound like a punk, man. You don't talk about women like that. Get out of my face, man. Get out of my face with that. Get out of my chat with that. Get underneath my Facebook post with that nonsense. I ain't gonna talk to women like that. I ain't gonna do it. Never will, never have. It's pointless at this point for me to do that. I told y'all why I won't do that. Different vibe. See, this the reason why some of y'all brothers don't have a woman, because y'all don't know how to talk to them. Y'all think I'm supposed to talk to a woman the same way I'm talking to y'all. That's some of y'all problem. Y'all think we supposed to talk to them the same way. That's the reason why some of y'all can't get a woman. Because y'all think y'all supposed to talk to them the same way. Come on, man. Y'all talking to them the same exact way. Y'all think I'm supposed to give them the same energy. Give them that same energy. Again, these dudes out here stealing these female quotes. Give them the same energy. Keep that same energy. That's what y'all dudes on. Y'all stealing the women saying out here, keep that same energy. That's what y'all trying to tell me. I'm not gonna do that. That's why y'all can't succeed out here with these women. That's why y'all can't succeed, fam. Y'all can't succeed. Y'all keep coming across these BS women because y'all think I'm supposed to keep the same energy. Keep that same energy. Nah, I'm not gonna keep that same energy. I know how to hold a woman accountable. I know how to speak I know how to speak in those terms, and it's different. It's different. It's different, man. Y'all just don't. A lot of y'all don't understand that. Flat out. A lot of y'all don't understand that, man. A lot of y'all don't understand that game. Asada, man, 100%. Making the owner cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe. Who is the original man? The Asiatic black man, man. Come on. Stop playing with us. Y'all, listen. When I tell y'all about my stuff back in the day, I'm telling y'all ain't seen that energy yet. I be trying to hold off. That was a different level of energy when I went under the name Illuminati Bell, when I had Facebook going crazy with some of the stuff that I was on. That energy, that vibe, y'all ain't seen nothing yet, man. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Listen, I was offended. I was offending a lot of people. And I ain't care about it. I ain't care about talking about anything. I was going to offend you. You know what I'm saying? I was going to tell you what you needed to hear. Wasn't trying to hear any of that nonsense and crying and complaining. Like, nah, man, we got to wake up, man. So I'm going to let you know what you're doing and why what you're doing is trash. Rodney, you say, what books do you recommend for knowledge of self? Message to the Black Man in America. Knowledge of Self by Supreme Understanding. The Science of Self by Supreme Understanding. Hey, The Fall of America by Elijah Muhammad. I got a book by Nuri Muhammad right here, A Well-Made Man. A Well-Made Man. I got some books by Wesley Muhammad right here. Hold up. I got one book by him right here. Understanding the Assault, A Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity. All of these books. I got another book right here by Supreme Understanding, Black God. I'm going to pull out all the books that I recommend. Hopefully y'all doing the knowledge to these books. Here go another one. Boom, Religion of the Black God. Man, I got it. I got them all right here, man. I got all the books in the chamber, man. Those are some of the few. Those are some of the few that I recommend. Tasha Peace, what's happening? And let me see if I can just so happen to come across some more, man. But this knowledge itself, man, this a lifestyle, man. We ain't just this a whole lifestyle, man. It's a whole lifestyle for sure. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just talking, man. We done really did the knowledge to these things. Man, we got all the books, man. We done been living this life for a minute. We ain't just talking it. King Me for sure. Yeah, I think I got pretty much all his work, yeah, everything he put out. You know, shout out to the God, man, for sure. Chris, exactly. Takes balance. You know, it didn't take, or it takes practice, but it didn't take that much for me. It didn't take much practice for me, but for the average person, it probably gonna take a lot of practice to execute exactly what I'm saying, that balance. For sure. But man, y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all really about to get your boy going. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time for this type of information. It's about time for this type of content, and we got to go all in on it now. You know, it's about that time. I done held off long enough. You know, this energy been sitting inside of me. Like I told y'all, I don't feel right unless I'm talking about this type of stuff, unless I'm spazzing out on this type of content, this type of subject matter. I don't feel comfortable doing nothing else. It feels watered down. It feels soft. It feels weak. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the type of energy that I dish out. That ain't the type of energy that we need out here. You know what I'm saying? We need people to come out here and tell some truths. You know, whether it's in regards to what the government doing to us, what we doing to us, all of that. We need the truth out here, fam. Like straight up, we need the truth. We need the truth. Terrell, I got a few of his books. Man. And I wish I could find, man, I can't even find it. But yeah. But Rudy got some great, but I got all his books, I think. I think I got all his too. I'm only going by what's right here behind me. Y'all know I've got a lot of books. Rodney, for sure. Hold up. Man, let me hold up. Man, this mug ain't even let me be great. Yep, hold on. Let me see. Nope, it ain't even letting me type it in. But yeah, Rodney, for sure. The email is BELLERICJ7@gmail.com. They won't let me type it in the joint. But the email again is BELLERICJ7@gmail.com. So if you want to email me, boom, email me. I can hit you up with the books that I just recommended. But y'all, with that being said, man, I done went well beyond my time. But y'all know how I go when your boy get in that surface, who's away from this particular bill. If not, oh well, y'all still tapped in. But man, I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday, man. I'm gonna try to tap back in with y'all maybe in a few days. Y'all know I'll be dropping uploads too, so be on the lookout for any of that, man. But I appreciate y'all. Y'all take it easy out here and enjoy the rest of the Tuesday. I'm out. Peace.